Update, I overheard my wife saying, once I frame him in court, I'll take the kids, the house and everything else. I drained the accounts, cancelled every payment, and left. What she did next shocked the whole town. My mind raced connecting dots I didn't even know existed until that moment. Jake, the name she just let slip, wasn't nobody, he was somebody. He was the coworker she'd always laughed a little too hard with at office parties, the one she insisted was just a friend when I'd asked about him months ago. I took a step closer, my voice cold now. Don't lie to me, Kate. Is Jake the reason for all of this? The phone calls, the fights, the secrets? Her face twisted into a mask of indifference, her lips curling into a mocking smile. You're unbelievable, she said, shaking her head like I was some irrational fool. I don't have to stand here and listen to this. She grabbed her purse and stormed out of the kitchen, slamming the door behind her. I stood there, my heart pounding in my chest, her words echoing in my mind. You're paranoid. Jake is nobody. But her slip had already exposed everything. Jake wasn't nobody, he was the answer to all the questions I hadn't dared to ask before, and now there was no turning back. The need for answers clawed at me like a sickness. I couldn't take her evasions, her lies, her venomous attempts to paint me as crazy. So one evening, when Kate grabbed her keys and muttered something about meeting a friend, I made a decision. I would follow her. I didn't think twice, I grabbed my own keys and tailed her car at a safe distance. My palms were slick with sweat as I maneuvered through the streets, keeping my headlights dimmed and staying just far enough back. I watched her weave through town, taking turns that led out of our usual stomping grounds and into the wealthier part of the city. The houses grew larger, the driveways longer, the gates taller. She finally slowed near a sprawling estate surrounded by high hedges and a black iron gate. My chest tightened as I watched her pull into the driveway. A few moments later, the gate slid open and she disappeared inside. I killed my engine and parked down the street just out of view, my heart pounding so loudly I could barely think. What was she doing here? Who did she know in a place like this? I crept closer on foot, careful to stay in the shadows of the manicured trees lining the street. As I reached the edge of the property, I spotted them, Kate and Jake, through the slats of the gate. They were standing near the entrance to the house, bathed in the warm glow of the porch light. Kate was laughing, her arm casually draped over his shoulder, her body language so familiar, so intimate it made my stomach churn. Jake leaned in close, his hand resting possessively on her waist as he said something that made her laugh even harder. It wasn't the laugh she shared with me, it was lighter, more carefree, like she was a different person entirely when she was with him. I strained to hear them crouching behind a low hedge just outside the gate. Their voices were low but I caught fragments of their conversation, words that sent a fresh wave of anger and confusion crashing over me. When this is over, Kate said, her voice trailing off into a giggle. Jake's response was quieter but his tone was unmistakably serious. We need to get it done faster. I don't want this dragging out. My mind raced. What were they talking about? What needed to be done? And why was she laughing about it? I stayed there hidden, watching them like a stranger spying on someone else's life, the life I thought I had with her, unraveling right in front of me piece by piece. I wanted to burst through the gate to demand answers, to confront her with everything I knew or thought I knew, but I stayed frozen, torn between fury and desperation, afraid of what else I might uncover if I stepped closer. After a few minutes, they went inside, the door closing behind them. I stood there in the dark, my fists clenched, my mind reeling. Whatever this was, it was bigger than I'd imagined and I wasn't sure I was ready for what I'd find next. Dinner started out like any other, the sound of utensils clinking against